Hasan is worse than Jeffrey Epstein. That's what it shows you, Hutch. That's what it shows you.
What is Jeffrey Epstein?
You did when you said I would vote for Epstein over JD Vance.
Tell me, what is Jeffrey Epstein's policy platform?
Dude, you don't need.
That's a fair question, isn't it? Isn't that relevant to the analysis? I don't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein's politics. Would he push for a public option? Is he a Medicare for all kind of person? I don't know anything about his politics.
Yeah, you don't know anything about his politics other than the only thing Jeffrey Epstein is known for, which is being a file, bro. Are you joking? Like, Jeffrey Epstein is known for one thing and one thing only. Children. And this mother, like, yeah, that's good enough for me. And he also loves Israel. So I guess that those are the two things that you care about as far as who you're going to vote for.
I would not necessarily disqualify Jeffrey Epstein electorally. It's because first we would have to establish if he supports liberal democracy. Because the whole thing with Hasan is that he doesn't. And I had people in my own chat last night that thought I was being ridiculous. Why am I being ridiculous when we're talking about Hasan Piker?
Dude, you are. Snap out of it. Snap out of it, dumbass. The reason why even people that are in the edge communities that would normally agree with your sentiment are saying, dude, what are you saying? Like, what we are watching right now unfold with evil Northern Lion and all these other like adjacent orbiters of Sex Pestiny is this moment where they are expressing how unserious they are about American politics. I have long maintained the position that for these guys, they make it seem as though they're giving you like a political take, but all they're basically doing is using political disagreements as a way to just say Hasan is bad. Okay? Hasan derangement syndrome. And I don't think Hutch is ever going to snap out of it. I don't think Destiny is ever going to snap out of it. But like their audiences are finally coming to that recognition that it's like, dude, Donald Trump is kidnapping people and murdering American citizens that are trying to stop this kidnapping operation from taking place. And every single moment of the day for you is spent talking about how Hasan is awful. Hasan is bad. At least he's out in the streets. You ain't doing.
Do you trust that he would not nuke Israel? Do you trust that he would not help China invade Taiwan? I'm crazy for being worried about our nation's secrets. If we gave power to Hasan.
Hasan isn't an all-powerful God, even as president. Like, they're trying to walk him off this ledge, right? They're trying to walk him off this ledge. There's still plenty in his community going, I don't. He'd give that shit up for a shiny new shock collar.
Piker?
Like, again, it's all drama. Even when he's being a insane person, okay, there are still plenty of people that want to keep up this like, no, you're doing the right thing method, or they're trying to literally say like, no, Hasan would be far more devastating. Okay, well, I have my candidates. You can look at who I'm working with, right? Who I'm working within the Democratic Party and make that assessment for yourself. Are these guys bad, or do you like them? Obviously, the one that we can directly point to is Zoran Kwame Mamdani, right? Do you like Zoran? Okay, well, I guess you don't have that big of a disagreement with me after all, right?
I'm the crazy one who's like, I don't know, what's Jeffrey Epstein's policy position when he glorifies the current Chinese Communist Party as like a model of government? I'm the crazy one? Somebody who idolizes Vladimir Lenin, and I'm the crazy one because I don't want to live under an authoritarian leftist regime?
Yes. All of this, like Hasan would give state secrets to China and shit like that, is literally the exact same shit that like Steven Crowder and them would say. These guys don't realize that they've actively radicalized themselves into taking on positions that are identical to the biggest reactionaries out there. They don't realize it though, because this is what happens when you are singularly focused on expressing the enmity that your favorite sex pest has. Like, you're fighting his battles and you don't even realize it. Lenin is such an interesting sticking point for some reason. Yes, because These guys don't realize that they're completely trapped in this Western focus in politics where it's like Lenin, Karl Marx, these are terrifying people. They've killed quintillions of individuals. They've killed so many people. They're so ruthless. They're such tyrants. They don't understand. It's like they only have a very like America good approach to things. Yeah, Stockman says he would vote for JD Vance over you.
For me personally, he would send me to the gulag, so I would vote for JD Vance.
Well, that's
over Hasan. For me personally,
hold on,
but
Dan
I would
be
understand
gone too. Wait, I'm starting to see Hasan's platform now.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get it.
So for most people, it might be better to be under Hasan, but for me specifically, I can't. I'm not going to vote for my oppressor.
This is like peeking into the other side where there's just like an insane approach. Like they don't realize that I cover politics and these guys just cover me covering politics in a negative framework. Hopefully a lot more people are waking up to that reality though. Ogre Boy says, Doug McGee takes this opportunity to speak on doing politics to talk about any guesses. That's right, Hasan. Amazingly, seeing as how he watches more Hasan than I do, he even that assessment up. Shocking.
Destiny, is it necessarily bad to have political commentators that don't want to be engaged in actual politics? Yes, it is bad. Now, when I say actual politics, I don't mean they're running for office or they're like directly affiliated with a candidate. I mean, they're trying to get political power. Politics is about getting political power in your political system, right? Or influencing political power in your political system. So in a democracy, you want to be able to exert influence over lawmakers, over the president, over cabinet level officials, over executive agencies. Like this is like politics, is political power. And so somebody like Fuentes ideally would have a Groyper caucus in the House or the Senate. The House would be amazing for Nick. That would be like his ideal. For somebody like Hasan doesn't care about politics per se. He just like talks about it and then
I thought it was dangerous for America's future because I do actually directly correspond with candidates and, push for them to be elected. He goes back and forth on this nonstop, it seems. Because, I thought the danger that I represented to America was that I command a tremendous amount of I command a tremendous amount of political influence. I wield it dangerously. Now he's saying I don't care about politics. I guess it's just about whatever in that immediate moment, whatever reactionary garbage you can just toss out there. The enemy is both strong and weak at the same time. Now, of course, that's a strange thing to say about someone, especially like myself. I have candidates that are running for Senate, Democrats running for Senate. I have candidates running for, the mayor's office, right? Zoran Mamdani was one of them. I have opinions about how, local governance, state governance should be run. And I'm trying to push for people to do it, both from my community and also people that I use to get elected, use my community to get elected, right? So what has Destiny done on the other hand? Nothing. He just constantly is chirping about how I am a bad person. That's it. He spends basically every waking moment just saying, when he's not procuring CSAM or not in a legal battle with his victims and undermining his victims and victim blaming in general, all he does is just talk about how much I suck.
Makes money off of it. But he doesn't care to actually influence any of it or to try to get anybody elected. He doesn't want to wield any political power. He just kind of wants to talk about stuff all day. Now, in and of itself, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But the issue is that these things, to a lot of people, seem to overlap or they're hard to distinguish from one another. So then you end up in a world where people on the left look to Hasan as well, is this guy speaking for Democrats? And then people on the right can use Hasan as an attack vector.
The only thing that his community has done as far as projecting political power was to get Richie Torres to send a congressional letter to Amazon to get me deplatformed. The only large leftist, progressive, Democrat content creator, Democrat adjacent content creator to get banned 5 days out from the general election. That was it. They sicked the ADL on my ass. They constantly try to get me deplatformed because they're super pro-Israel for some weird reason. And right before the election, that was their big moment. Him and the other dip I just showed you who said he would vote for JD Vance over me because he thinks I would put him in a gulag have worked with senators like Tom Cotton, as a matter of fact, to try to get me deplatformed. The only thing that these guys have done, aside from revitalizing Nick Fuentes' career when he was deplatformed from every outlet possible.
Oh, and Fuentes' treatment of me is so bad. I don't understand. That's something he'll have to learn and grow. Not to sound like not to be too self-aggrandizing, but like Fuentes should be worshiping me because I am literally I was the only lifeline that he had to like being able to breach like mainstream political conversations. Like I represented a huge potential opportunity to him, and he just was so bad faith in the way that he treats me. It's unbelievable. I don't know why the he would do that. Like he should have been so conciliatory towards me, and I'm not looking for that. I'm not asking him to be my thing, but for him to be like relentlessly bad faith against me all the time, like, bro, who the fuck are you? Like, I can put you on a stream in front of 14,000 people. Like, I'm giving you your phone number to like Adam22 so you can go to a show. Why the fuck did you like burn my shit so hard?
Okay, and trying to other white nationalists on top of Nick Fuentes. The only thing that they've ever done is that. It's just pure spite. I hope people can wake up to the reality that this isn't real politics. Okay, this is just pure spite being expressed as though it's a political disagreement. Hyper focusing on drama. Drama is much easier to pay attention to. Drama among streamers is much easier to pay attention to than the boring stuff, right? I'm in Hudge's community. He's been spiraling the last couple of months and conflating his personal vendettas with being in a political position. Some of us even bring Fred BLS data, and he'll refute it if it aligns with something you said. The vibes are not good over there at the moment. It's crazy. They think, and what's really crazy about it is if they had the wherewithal to recognize where the political changes are happening within the base of the party, they would just shut the up about constantly attacking me. And they would instead be like, oh no, we were there all along. We want, AOCs to run. We want Zoran Mamdani's to run. Of course, we were there all along. They would just lie to their audiences, but they don't do it. They don't do that because they're stupid. And they're so personally invested in their own vendettas. Hutch said, you getting ratioed on Twitter was a win? Yeah, I know. It's going to be a real shock to all of these when the midterms come around, I think. Like, this is the only politics they have, which is to constantly tell their audience that I have no political motion whatsoever, which who cares? Who cares if I have political motion or not? Like, I'm irrelevant. If I'm irrelevant and I'm powerless, then why the do you talk about me all the time? You know what I mean?
But the annoying thing is that he's not playing the same game that conservatives or even center-left liberals are, because he doesn't care at the end of the day if any of his people get elected or if he's able to influence any policy or not. He just wants to talk about it. That's it. And the confusion of those two things are very detrimental, I think.
I just don't understand it. For someone who's obsessive with hating Hasan, he actually has no idea what Hasan stands for? Is he pretending? Instead of streaming literally almost every day, he could go spend time with his kid. Should only talk politics if your buddy's in power. It gives you power and money. New vibe detected. It's just strange. If they literally, here is free ball, okay? I know that these guys will never listen to what I have to say, but the free ball here for you, okay, free advice, is to shut the up about me and start talking about the issues themselves without tying it back to me somehow. Because the reality of the matter is, if you only talked about the issues, you would probably start developing an audience that cares about the issues again. Okay? Didn't this guy care about a municipal candidate getting elected? Said candidate turning his back on him after the allegations came out and ended up doing 2% or something? Yes. The difference between me and Destiny is that when Destiny actually put his hat in the ring in the electoral arena and tried to get a mayor elected in Nebraska, in I believe it was the Omaha mayoral race, right? His candidate had to disavow Destiny, and his candidate got 2% of the election anyway, okay? And it's so sad that he has like genuinely tried to say like Zoran did the same thing. Zoran did the same thing. It's like, first of all, he disavowed the 9/11 statement. He didn't disavow me, as evidenced by the fact that, we're still I'm still working directly with the DSA to get his slate and his agenda accomplished here. And not only that, but he one. Didn't Midas Touch blow up like the #1 lib podcast? Pretty sure they don't spend hours a day talking about Hasan bad. The problem is this guy's mentally ill. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And the reason why Midas Touch, Midas Touch and the politics that they represent are different than mine. Okay. I am much more radical than they are. I am much, much more radical than they are. But it doesn't matter because they also understand that a big tent with candidates like AOC are what will make the Democratic Party viable. They love Zoran. They love AOC. They love Bernie Sanders. Okay? They don't shy away from propping up establishment Democrats as well, but they don't spend every waking moment and make their political expressions simply Hasan bad, Hasan bad, Hasan bad, because they also understand. And I talk to these guys, right? I'm going to talk to someone from Midas Touch, Adam Mockler, tomorrow. The reason why the reason why I think there's a productive conversation to be had there is because regardless of some of our policy disagreements, they ultimately want Republicans to lose. These guys don't operate like they want Republicans to lose. They don't give a shit whether Republicans win or lose. They only care about getting someone like myself deplatformed.
That we should respond to them as appropriate, call out their bad takes as appropriate. But the obsession is something I don't understand. The obsession is something I don't understand. And why, as opposed to someone like Piers Morgan, as opposed to like Joe Rogan.
If you don't understand the obsession at this point,
does Zoran actually really with you still or not? Does it seem negative towards you in that debate? Brother, I talk to Zoran Mamdani privately all the time. Not that it matters at the end of the day. Like his entire, I think you guys don't understand, like his entire team is people like you. Okay? I work with his slate of candidates. Stop being parasocial. I can't believe that this is like a genuine, I can't believe that this is also like a genuine point of contention. This is what I mean.
And why, as opposed to someone like Piers Morgan, as opposed to like Joe Rogan.
If you don't understand the obsession at this point, you're probably just not qualified to have an opinion on anything going on here. I don't think you should talk.
That we should respond to them as appropriate.
It's crazy that he also like recognizes that it's an obsession. Destiny defending Hasan against Pisco's outrageous suggestion that Piers Morgan and Joe Rogan are much more appropriate objects of goon fixation. Insists that failing to psychosexually obsess over Piker should in fact disqualify a person from having an opinion on anything. To which I responded with, not even hiding the pathological obsession now that the remaining cult members are the most diehard. I think that's what's going on here. What's going on here is that it's like a grudge, it's an obsession, and we're going to move on to Zoran Mamdani right now, by the way.